for me, it's always very important the choice of the captain, because he is the captain in the pitch, and he can enlarge my influence. And but he more or less he needs to have the same philosophy and the way of seeing life and so on. So that's not so simple to choose. So I need time to do that.
You've lost plenty of experience in the shape of Ferdinand, Vidic and Evra. Does that make your job of moulding this young squad perhaps easier rather than more difficult?
No, I don't think so, because every human being, whenever he is 16 or 30 years old, he has his own personality, his own identity. And I can work with 35-year-old, but I can also work with 16 years old. It's dependable of your personality. And also the captain doesn't has to be the most senior player. So for me, it's more the personality and the mentality and the way he stands in life is very important.
You've said you're assessing your squad and working out what you need, what you don't need. You have a lot of money to spend if you want it, but is it about finding the right players rather than expensive players?
I don't buy players for buying players. I buy players to improve my selection. And first I have to see what we need in all the positions from the system we shall play. And at this moment, I don't know for sure that we have to play this system. But yes, shall I say it in English? When we play 4-3-3, we shall use more or less also the same players. But 4-3-3, I need more specialists on the wings and more attackers. And then we have to buy another kind of player.
Some fans have scratched their heads and thought the club broke their transfer record to get Juan Mata in. They've given Wayne Rooney a big contract. Robin van Persie is a key player. He was the Golden Boot winner in the last title campaign. How is it possible to get the most from those three players in the same team?
Now, that's also one argument why I choose for this system, because I can play them all. And that's also important. But we don't forget all the others, because Hernandez can also play in the striker's position, and Welber can also play in the striker's position. And maybe Will Keane can play in the striker's position, because he can develop himself. And then Rooney, he can play 10, 9, and he said to me he can play also 7 and 11. So
and one. He plays in goal too.
Yeah. He has said that to you though, because he's very kind of, at this club, he's a very forceful personality. So he has already mentioned that to you.
Yeah. But I like him more at 9 or 10.
And in terms of being in England, we have this, within the media, we have this big thing about managers being against each other. It was mentioned at one of your press conferences earlier this week. Jose Mourinho had mentioned something to do with Manchester United, and you played that down. Yeah. But do you like the mind games involving other managers? Is that something that you're happy with?
Not so interesting. I have to manage my club, and that's already difficult enough to manage your own club. So I'm not concerned with other clubs or other managers. And Jose is my friend, so it don't bother me.
So you're not going to fall out with him over?
No, I don't think so. But I don't think with all the other managers. I'm always with full respect for my colleagues.